I was thinking the other day, if we were to have T-shirts, I think they would probably be number one would be "Do the Pedo Get the Ghetto."
I like
that would be the number one shirt.
I've got a tattoo artist coming up with a design for that. By the way, I'm gonna have it across my back.
All right, that's good. Another one would be crowdfund that hand job from the pilot episode. And then someone else liked this so much the other day and told me about it that I thought it should have its own shirt too, and it should just be "Eat 4 goddamn bananas."
Eat 4 goddamn bananas. That's solid advice, though.
It is.
Eat 4 goddamn
the
bananas.
problem, that was something else that I have a problem with because I was looking at through my own lens. If you tell me just to go nuts and eat fruit and nuts, guess what? I'm going to eat 12 bananas because
that's still better than...
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's still better than like getting a bag of those powdered donuts and hammer down like 6 of them shits. That's
like 1,000 calories.
Fuck, we are already the fuck off topic.
We haven't even started. This is the opening. We can do whatever we want now. You're getting... You think there's rails on this car?
I'm getting antsy already, man.
Look, there's ice on the ground. We're probably going to skid.
We've got a guest, and we're starting off very unprofessionally.
That's fine. That's how we do.
Yeah, first guest, the indomitable, the radiant, the
comely,
yeah, Brooke Thompson Johnson.
Hi,
that's my girl right there. We do.
She's here because she has a very specialized set of skills.
Not
she
really.
She has this deep knowledge of evil shit.
She's got a doctorate on true crime,
cold case
docs.
I've listened to it for so long now, though, and watched so many documentaries on it. Now it all just kind of runs together. So I don't know a lot of facts. Just
a lot of opinion.
But do you know?
That's what we thrive on.
Do you know fun facts?
Sure.
All right, fun facts are just that. There
is no fucking fun facts when it
because
comes to
guess
this shit.
what, you guys? It's October, and sure, we started this in October, but I think we would probably go to hell if we didn't do a spoopy episode.
Your boys are getting spoopy.
We're getting spoopy,
and your girl.
Spoopy.
Persons in general.
Persons in general. I want to go. I want to go ahead and just first get on record saying this is a bad topic for me because I spook easy. I'm really freaked out, or I was prior to this. I was really freaked out about ghosts. Like I've always been kind of weirded the fuck out. The haunts and ghosts, phantasms.
One of the first questions he asked when we bought our house.
People's knees.
People's knees.
Yeah.
People's what? No.
Is
that Charlie?
That's Charlie.
That's Charlie talk.
That's Charlie talk.
Yeah. I'm actually quite attracted to people's knees. That should have gone on the sex talk show. But anyways, I'm weirded out by them. I've always been freaked out by ghosts and shit like that.
I thought it was aliens.
But I did. I'm getting to that. But after this week of you can't call what I do a deep dive. It's like a wading. Like ankle deep in information.
It's
all
like,
surface.
It's grazing. We graze topics.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really...
we don't deep dive into shit unless it's donkey fucking. I went off into that. But it says so much about me.
Well, we're very
I said
weird
that out
people.
loud, didn't I? Okay. But yeah, I did my low dive into my shallow dip into ghosts. And they're not real. They're not real.
That's why I thought that this was a bad topic for me too, because I just like ghosts. They're not real. I don't believe in them.
Yeah, I don't anymore.
But I still did some research on some demonic possession stuff.
Cool.
Found some neat things. I think it's bullshit, but it's still interesting. Aliens, I'm down with. We talked about this before. I believe
aliens still trip me out.
Aliens are real. They exist because of the law of averages. Now, whether or not they exist and go around in spaceships,
that's not how the law of averages works.
Okay, I'm talking about aliens in general. They don't have to be like zipping around in a UFO,
You mean like
a saucer, and
you mean
abducting
undocumented
people.
immigrants?
I mean people that exist or things that exist that are sentient that live somewhere in the universe. It's too big for that to not be true. So I'm just going to go with
well, that's
my
an
gut.
assumption.
It's a really good one, and
I think there is a high.
It's bolstered by the law of averages.
There's a high. Well, it bolstered by. You can have a belief, but you don't know.
Yeah, it's a belief in a law, and laws are proven. So there's aliens.
Damn shit. Got me cursing. I have to break out my box.
Well,
Get my CBD.
CBD.
I don't know. Well, I know that you know this. You may not know this, Chace, since we're on this subject right now. I'm actually banned from a cemetery in Linden, Texas.
What'd you do?
Well, I didn't do anything. It was.
That's not what the police report said.
Listen, you
Not
can't
what
tell
the police
someone, you can't tell the internet that you're banned from something and not give the
Once
skinny.
upon a time, me and my ex and a couple of friends decided to go out to this cemetery in Linden, and they were like, "Come on, Brooke,
That's
there's
Linden,
like a
Texas.
Linden, Texas." Was I not supposed to say that?
No, I'm saying that that's Linden, Texas.
Yeah.
In case anybody was wondering.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
And
Sorry.
do I speak funny?
No, she said he was just getting his Stone Man equipment
Oh,
out.
okay.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Come on, let's go. There is a witch buried out there." So I was like, "Well, I want to see this witch grave." So they take me out there, and yes, there was alcohol involved. And we get out of the car. We're walking to this witch grave. It didn't really look scary. There was like some rocks or stones around it. And at that point, we just saw headlights on us and a man shouting with a gun saying the cops were on their way. And sure enough, we're running back to the car. The cops show up, found the beer, and I had to go in front of the cop can to state my name. And come to find out, there was also a girl named Brooke in Linden that had been graffitiing on
Oh, shit.
the bridge
You got
next to
framed.
the cemetery, and he thought I was that Brooke, but I told him it was not me. I was not from there, blah, blah, blah. He let us go, and he said, "Never come within 100 feet of this cemetery ever again." I wouldn't even know how to get there again.
Do they have
It was
do they have a guy that just like hangs out that like
Yeah.
check you
Yeah,
in?
because
That checks
apparently
you
it's
in?
like right by his property.
Well, but I mean, is he there? Like, if you walk up to the, he'd be like, "Hey, I got a picture of you up here in my shack."
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he's got said, dude. like you go to Fuzzy's Tacos and you fuck up real bad. And they put your picture up on
Yeah.
Oh, like the time you got kicked out, but
We're
you
not
were out.
this
so
is not.
you
we're
were
not
out.
talking
You were
about
out
that.
so
This is-
fast they couldn't get a picture.
We
of
are
your
talking about.
By the way,
spooky shit.
Hunter is probably banned from Fuzzy's Tacos forever.
Most definitely. The law of averages states that I am definitely banned from Fuzzy's
It
Tacos.
was really
That
embarrassing.
sucks.
There
You.
was-
No more tempura tacos.
There was some
He
unpleasantness.
yelled at everyone in the restaurant, including the customers, and
In my defense, I was very drunk.
I mean, they wouldn't even let you give you guys time enough to like pour salt around the witch grave so you can't get out.
oh, we didn't have time to do anything.
What a crock of shit!
What does a witch grave
This
look
guy
like?
was like waiting on us.
I mean, the way she described it was just a bunch of
it
rocks.
was,
It might
it
just-
was just like a bunch of rocks.
I think it's just
and
that where that guy
stones.
buried his dog. That sounds like Old Yeller's grave.
Right, and he just started telling people that there was a witch buried there so people wouldn't come fuck with his dead dog. I'd do that. That would be.
And
I
he
would-
just
I would do
invited all types of chicanery
that. He didn't know.
and hoodlums.
He didn't know. He thought he was doing the right thing.
It probably worked back in the day, but as like time went on and kids got more like into spoopy shit, they were like, "Let's go. Who wants to piss on a witch grave?"
I don't think kids got more into it. I think kids have always been into spoopy shit.
Oh, I have. The first book that I ever read, was Carrie. That was like
It's
my
pretty fucking
first.
spoopy.
Yeah, that was like my
It's
first
a spoopy ass book.
book that I read.
A book.
My book.
My book.
Stephen King,
Not,
he do know how to. He'll spook
Why do
you.
you think I love Stephen King so much? I just have so much
Well,
nostalgia.
I love Stephen King a lot, but I also don't get into Stephen King's spookier shit. Like I like his like Dark Tower series, like the more fantastical. Eye of the Dragon.
Kind of spooky.
I don't read
Lacey's
it.
Story.
I don't read
The
anything
Institute,
that
stuff
doesn't.
like
We're
that.
gonna give you some books to
I don't
read.
read anything that doesn't have panels that go from right to left.
You otaku.
Yeah,
Weeaboo.
yeah.
What the fuck is an otaku? I know that's so off topic, but I've been meaning to ask that.
It's just a Japanese word for nerd.
I don't need that shit in my Google search history, so I just figured I'd wait till you came around to ask.
It's just the Japanese term for nerd.
There's so much bad shit on my Google search history.
I think that would be like call it
I
like
think that would be the one thing that would tip the FBI over the edge.
that would be like nerd, geek, dweeb. That's their slang for that, basically. I think that's the other reason you're probably here is if we were to talk about serial killers, we get on some real basic bitch shit like
Ted Bundy.
did you guys know Jeffrey Dahmer ate
Jeffrey
people?
Dahmer.
Holy shit!
Holy, hang on, hold the phone. Jeffrey Dahmer was eating people?
He was.
Oh,
I thought he was just this handsome devil that people just ooze
We're-
over
Well,
on
we're drawn
their
to.
stories are interesting. I mean, there's a reason why they're so.
Well,
No.
let's do that. Let's start there. Let's use our guest.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Brooke,
This is where the facts are going to get kind of blurry.
Yeah, this is a fact podcast.
yeah.
I want to give accurate information.
I want entertaining information.
All right. So let's go ahead and kick this rock down the hill. Brooke, if you got to choose one, Which serial killer are you dating?
Oh, ooh.
Dead
I
air.
don't know. That's a really
That's
tough
on you.
question. But
I asked two good questions. I asked that hard hitting shit. If you had to fuck a serial killer,
I guess it's
which one you
I
fucking?
mean, probably
speaks
one
more-
of the ones that had like an actual family and a wife who was normal at home, who did the dishes,
like BTK.
like BTK,
BTK,
yeah.
BTK.
Not
I'm fucking Dahmer. He's a handsome son of a bitch.
no, not really. Ted Bundy is probably
Bundy,
one
that's
that
who I
you're
meant.
thinking of.
Bundy, yeah. Or
You
Dahmer.
know, a family
Yeah, Dahmer
man
was
that
a
kills
weird-
on the
yeah,
side.
He was like a back in the day otaku.
Yeah, but I think people still sexualize him.
Because
Bundy,
women,
yeah.
women
No,
will,
and even Jeffrey Dahmer. I didn't
women
see
will,
people talk
will
about that.
sexualize. It's the bad boy persona.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's not like the
I
John
guess
Travolta from Greece.
it does say
Go from
something.
that to
It would probably
fucking
be a
Ted
lot.
Bundy.
It would probably be a lot more alarming if she just had an answer immediately. That might be a red flag.
I honestly
I've
thought
never
she
thought
would.
about that. I've never.
She'll-
Oh, well, Ted Bundy did have a girlfriend and a stepdaughter, and he took care of them.
no shit.
Yeah, he.
I thought he was gay.
No, that was Jeffrey Dahmer.
He was gay for killing.
I'm getting
people.
those two mixed up,
yeah,
aren't
you
I?
are.
Okay. And who's the dude? John Wayne Gacy did the clown
That's
shit,
the clown.
hiding people under his house and stuff.
Yes, weird. That's actually my favorite serial killer.
He's
Is
on
John
the-
Wayne Gacy?
Weird fucking shit.
He's
Well,
on
let's
that-
get into that. How come?
He's on that Edgar Allan Poe shit.
He's on that. By the BT Dubs, I did a little. I did do a little research on our boy Edgar Allan Poe.
What a fucking
But
nerd.
I'm stepping all over Brooke's spot here. So
What? Edgar Allan Poe?
yeah, Edgar Allan Poe.
I don't know much about him.
Well, he's spooky.
honestly. I mean, yeah, he is. I've read some of his
He
stories.
invented Hot Topics.
So basically, he did. So anyway, he apparently he had something wrong with him to where he would get just fucking slammed off of like a glass of wine, like one glass of wine.
And that's nice.
Well,
you
also-
can save a lot of money like that.
Well, also
Wow.
his sister had the same affliction where she could just get completely sloshed off a glass of wine. So he's like, and also he married this. I'm just throwing out some facts about Edgar Allan Poe. He also.
What are
I gotta know. Goddamn! I wish everybody could see Chase's face right now. What is happening?
When you said that he did that and that his sister had that, and then I thought you were just going to tie right back into the fucking incest discussion. And they were banging each other.
Speaking of incest and kid fucking, when Edgar Allan Poe was, I believe, that's how you handle not knowing things. I believe 27 years old. He married, presumably fucked, his 13-year-old cousin, Virginia
Woolf.
I want to say Wolf. It's not it.
That actually
his 13-year-old cousin.
Familiar.
And apparently it was a happy relationship. So maybe there's something I'm missing with all that.
What do you think brought you and got you so attracted to like all the cold case stuff? I mean, it's pretty popular. I mean, not to pigeonhole you, but in like I know lots of these like girls around our age range. It's just like something that just draws them to that.
I think like nowadays it has become like a fad. And I'm not going to rip on these people because...
Are you a cold case hipster? You're like, I was there before it was cool?
Yeah. Come on. No. When I was young, it used to freak me out. You know, the whole John Bonet case.
Yeah.
I was fairly young when that happened. And I remember seeing her on the magazines and the tabloids, the newspapers, and I just remember being fascinated with it. I don't really know why, but that kind of like piqued my interest of like wanting to figure out what really did happen. And of course, like years later now, there's been so much more information that's been put out there. But I would say like that kind of started it, and it just gradually went to my fascination in like the serial killers and the cults, and I don't know, like it was just like an interest in me. I can't like remember a defining moment where I was like, oh my god, like I'm gonna love this for the rest of my life. But yeah.
So who did it? You think your parents did it?
I think that the brother did it. What was his name?
I don't know. I hear that's a popular theory, though. I remember the
reason. Well, here's my reasoning for why that's a high probability is because they, to this day, it seemed more like a cover up, like they were trying to cover up him. Burke, that was his name. Sorry, like my brain was really Burke. They were trying to like. Is that country music?
Yeah, they're jamming over there. They're probably working on the truck.
That's very distracting. Anyways, yeah, I think they were trying to cover up Burke. I don't think Patsy did it. I don't think the dad did it. I think the dad covered up Burke's oopsie, and
that's one hell of a fucking oopsie. Sorry, sis.
I think it was an accident. I don't think it was. Did you like hear about the pineapple in her stomach? After, like Burke used to eat pineapple every night before he went to bed, and John Bonet did not. She had pineapple in her stomach from the autopsy that had not been digested. So a lot of speculation is that she ate some of Burke's pineapple, and he got upset and accidentally killed her because she had blunt force trauma. They think that he hit her with something. Yes, I know it's fucking bizarre, but I can't see a parent just killing a child.
Oh, you stupid! I hate you, sis. You stole my pineapple. I'm going to bash you on the head with the mag.
The parents panicked and they tried to cover it up, and I really think that's the case because I don't think it would have been a secret for so long. Even to this day, we don't know everything. I really think that Burke did it.
I feel like there's a bunch of stuff like that we'll figure out in the next like 20 or 30 years.
I think the dad will have to pass away.
People will like be on their deathbed and be like, oh, I have to let you guys know.
And I don't even know if Burke was so young that even if he did do it, he may not even remember. Like it might be something that he doesn't even remember doing. Oh yeah, we were talking about the country music going on over there.
Yeah, that's a...
Yeah, that might get this flag. Hopefully the microphone's not that good and doesn't pick up a little mud on the tires.
God, I used to go mudding all the time, and I would listen to this shit.
Well, that's not spooky.
It is spooky to me.
It is spooky. If
You guys
you're a
been
girl.
together. You guys been together for a long time. This song's not old. What the fuck, bro?
It's pretty old.
No.
It's really
Let's
old.
turn this into wedding. This the marriage counseling now.
Oh,
Obviously, you done fucked up.
Who, me?
Yeah.
What'd I do?
No, not you. No.
What did I do? Not have an opinion about it. Get this.
We were just talking about John Benet Ramsey and how.
Who do you think did it?
I think she killed herself.
Oh
I think
my
she did,
god!
I think she's
killed
look,
herself.
obviously
I think
she was a little prima donna because she was in beauty pageants.
That was her mom's fault.
She lost one pageant and then she's like she couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
you think
pressures
that's it? The pressures.
of youth,
And she
beauty
committed-
pageants just
She committed
crushed her little soul.
She committed Sudoku by swallowing a whole
Jesus.
pineapple.
You know, I've never looked at it from that angle before.
Yeah. Case closed.
That's it.
All right, that's the end of the podcast, everybody.
All right, thanks, guys.
That's,
You guys can mail a check to me anytime you want to. All right, you guys, the keto people, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So, okay. So you're gonna date BTK.
No, you asked me.
Oh, what
Yeah.
are we gonna do? Fuck, marry, kill,
Yes,
serial
that's
killers
exactly what I
now?
was about to do.
Yeah,
Except I was
just-
gonna do
If,
kiss me.
like, if I'm with a serial killer, don't bring that shit home and still be a good husband. Don't let me know about it and move on your merry way.
If you were,
You know,
if
I
you were
kinda
running
can confirm
around on a
that.
serial killer and they both found out about it, would that turn into like a Freddy versus Jason scenario?
No,
I
they would
hope
probably pair up and start planning.
Rambo versus Rocky.
Maybe
We've had this discussion. That's no.
All right, cage match. Ted Bundy,
or
one of the 3 serial killers I know, John Wayne Gacy. Who you got?
John Wayne Gacy for sure.
Really?
He's huge.
He's
Yeah,
out
but
of
he's
shape,
probably
though.
out of shape.
So
Do they have
legit,
any-
he'd
probably
go
got bad
down.
knees.
Do they have any weapons in the cage?
Weapon of choice.
I'm pretty sure John Wayne Gacy.
What kind of
strangled-
cage is this? Is this like a UFC cage or is this
Yes.
like a WWE cage with gimmicks?
Hold on, I need to
Oh,
fact
fuck,
check
man.
this.
I
Make
think-
it a ladder match.
Let's make it
Make it a ladder match.
Make it a fucking ladder
with
match.
like the golden axe at the top. They grab them. I really do like Ted Bundy though, because he like defended himself in court,
He's
and
a
even the
genius.
judge was like, "Boy, I would adopt you."
Well, not
If
those
you
words,
hadn't
but
murdered
yeah.
Those words.
18
No,
This is
not those
this is
words.
a show of fact that
He said he
"Boy,
could
I
have
would adopt
been
you."
a great addition to society, but
He was not.
he went the wrong way.
He was not a great addition to
No,
society.
he was really smart. He was smart, cunning, and
He fucking killed
he
people.
killed people. I'm saying,
You gotta be smart and
regardless
cunning
of that.
to be a successful
Yeah,
serial
but there's
killer.
no room for that dude. Like,
Himself.
what does he do for a living? Like, work at fucking Kinko's?
I can't even remember.
I don't know. I remember
I think
the
he
only one
did.
I remember is like I remember seeing a bunch of stuff about BTK because there was a point where I watched a bunch of like fucking Cold Case and stuff like that too. But I remember something about he was very heavily involved in church because he was like sending stuff
Yeah.
from like the church computer.
BTK?
Yeah,
He had that shit figured out, man. Like, he would have
It
totally
took
gotten
them
away. He caught it.
like decades to
Yeah,
catch
he got
him.
himself caught too. Like, he probably would have gotten away with that shit if he wouldn't have been sending letters to like news outlets and. Didn't he send letters to the cops and stuff too?
I
Like he sent
think
like
he
little
did, but
like
you
Barbie
might
doll
be
heads
think-
and shit in there. And
here's
think
a better question.
Or was that so? No, that wasn't.
I'm pretty sure it was BTK.
If you were
Check me on that.
if you were a serial killer, Brooke,
Mm-hmm.
what would your trophy be?
Ooh, I get a trophy.
I mean, everybody keeps a little something, right? Like Dexter and
Most.
his blood slides. That's a little romanticized for TV, probably, but they usually all have some
like an
keepsake.
ear or a ring
or
or
a shoestring
or,
or
a
something
sock.
like that.
Ooh, damn!
I think
I'm
mine.
gonna say a pinky toe.
A pinky toe.
Pinky toe. Make
Right.
a little necklace.
Yeah. BTK, which stood for Bind, Torture, Kill. He
Bind.
kept authorities and the media on their feet by sending chilling messages of his crimes and malice.
Yeah.
And then he quit writing to him for 25 years, apparently.
Yeah, it was.
And then in 2004, that was recent. That wasn't recent. I'm just old. The communication began again with more letters sent to the media and packets left around the city of Wichita.
If he would have just kept his... What he did is he fucked up and he started talking to him again when it got to the point where it was easily traceable.
I think
He needed it.
I think a lot of people came to the conclusion that he wanted to get caught.
Whatever.
Which
He wanted
I don't know what goes on.
Did he want to get caught, or did he just want
Or he was a
recognition.
narcissist and
He
he
was-
thought
he
that
knew-
nobody was going to catch him and he was fucking.
There's probably some of that. I think it's also the recognition part where, like, you know, they want to... It's kind of like being on the leaderboard. You want to be at the top.
right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Speaking of BTK, I'm ready for the next season of Mindhunter. They have been dragging this on forever with BTK, and his story needs to pick up. Sorry, you didn't watch Mindhunter with me, but for all the
watched that
people
shit.
out there that do watch
Freaks me
Mindhunter,
out.
All of you. Because
watch it.
this goes coast to coast.
We're sponsored by...
All of the actors in there are amazing, especially the serial killers. Manson.
Have there been
he was the
any-
one that creeped me out the most.
Was Manson actually a serial killer?
No,
Like, he didn't do
he-
anything.
He was a serial
but
manager.
He
He
was,
didn't
well,
do
it was more
anything.
like a cult killing. He got people to
He was a serial manager.
Yeah. He didn't
Speaking
need
of-
kills.
He delegated responsibility.
Speaking of cult killings,
Mormons.
Jonestown, maybe?
fucking Jonestown.
Oh.
Get off. That's some spooky.
Have you ever listened to
ass
those
shit.
tapes?
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
you can
yes,
find them on
it's
YouTube.
wild.
It's fucking chilling.
Oh, are you talking about when they're recording them taking the,
Yeah.
the juice or whatever?
Yeah.
Not
it's
even that, just
disturbing.
him fucking ranting and stuff. Like, it's just like his voice oozes madness. Like, he's just a crazy fucking son of
Well,
a
It's
bitch.
almost like
This motherfucker took, alright, so he like hops countries, right? He hops countries, not like alone. No. With his whole congregation of like 800 motherfuckers. That's like if
Well,
Joel
because
Osteen.
the police were on his tail and he promised him a better future. I can't remember.
But that's like
where it was.
if Joel Osteen took his fucking mega church
Yeah.
and just fucking sailed them bitches across the sea to the Isle of Olstein.
when was Jones? It was in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
60s?
No.
I think it was the
I think it
70s.
was the 70s.
But I think a lot of that stuff was
Wait.
just easier to get away with back then.
800 people.
It was still a
How
lot.
do you get away with that at any point in history? 800, like they flipped out over fucking Roanoke,
Did they?
which by the way was kind of spoopy. Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
was
It was
spooky.
late 70s, 1978. So,
Yeah. Even at that point, it was a lot harder to track people.
So yeah, 60s. That was close.
It would be a lot different if it was now and everybody had phones. You could triangulate their position.
But they knew where they were. Like a news reporter fucking flew out there, or not a news reporter, some lady.
I remember because
Like a
they shot it
journalist
because a bunch of them
or-
got shot up.
Yeah, she got shot.
It was, I think it was like the governor or something went down there, and they were actually, because I think family members had been reaching out and,
Well, fuck
and
yeah.
worried about their family members. And was it the governor or something? He went down there, and there were people that were secretly trying to get his attention about wanting to leave,
No,
and they were taking
this was
some
a
of them
woman.
out.
that I'm talking about. Like a woman she actually got shot.
Yeah, there was a woman that got shot. There was
There
like
was several
6 people that got shot when they were boarding the plane.
I'm
Yeah,
just
they were
hyper focused on the one.
Yeah, they were getting on the plane and they got lit up.
That's
and
fucking-
that's
So I mean, they knew where they
when-
were. So I mean, phone or no phone, like they knew where they were. They just come and get them.
That's when
I
they
don't
went
know.
back, and at that time, because they knew they weren't going to be able to get away with that, that's when they made
I think they were
Who
trying to
they-
get. I think they were trying to get somebody to leave with them. Was the big deal? Of
yes.
it, right?
Well, because Jim Jones came
There's a
forward
bunch
and
of
was
people.
like, "Sure, go with him. It's fine." When in reality, it was like, "No, fuck you.
And then try to kill
You ain't
everybody.
going anywhere," because he knew the shit that.
You gotta
what he was
think
doing.
too, like if you're off in the middle of this, like, and I don't know how the fuck you get off in the middle of this, but if you're off in the middle of this, and you like this dude's willing to like take shots at a governor and stuff like that.
I don't
like,
know if it was a governor.
But took shots
Fact check.
took shots at people, you know, like, and in fact shot like 6.
I think it was like
fucking people.
government agents.
Well, I
think it
mean,
was
like,
government agents
You're
involved.
just a fucking Joe Blow involved in this. You know, your job is mixing Kool-Aid.
You just want
you
that
know.
salvation. You know that stuff he's talking
Well, I
about.
mean, no, you're starting to kind of trip out. Like, man, like maybe I shouldn't have came here. Like, this is a little bit crazy. And then, you know...
Well, now at that point, you're just scared and you don't really know what to do.
What the fuck can you do?
You don't know what to do.
Spoopy.
Big spoops.
You know what really pisses me off? The fact that he shot himself and didn't drink the shit that he made everyone else drink. Yeah, those videos are like horrifying, like the sound of the kids and stuff.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
What if they all drink that Kool-Aid and then Jim Jones shoots himself and they all get up to heaven? And God's like, yeah, y'all drink the Kool-Aid. Come on in. Good. That's exactly what I wanted. Drink the Kool-Aid. Like I told you. Jim, whoa, no, but you shot yourself. I told you drink the Kool-Aid, bro. Like, what the fuck you do? Now you go to hell. No. Sorry. They did it right. You're the dude I told to do that. That's why they all are here.
What a bitch.
You a bitch, Jim Jones. And so was your aunt.
Oh, you're right. Congresswoman left for dead.
So.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't right.
No, I'm just Googling on my phone.
He knew she was a woman.
I'm pretty sure I said she was a news reporter.
No, you were just about woman. You were like, I got a 50-50 shot.
Out of 6 people that had to have been
it was a congressman that went, not a governor.
We got
government officials, agents.
Somebody like that.
Someone, CIA, I don't know.
Important.
Anyway, they all got shot.
Yeah, okay.
It was very spoopy.
And then a bunch of people drank Kool-Aid.
But there's other spoopy stuff, too.
Okay, what's yours?
Let's
hear
there.
your...
Mine?
Yes.
Mine is about, apparently people are out here getting possessed by the demons.
It happens.
It does happen. It's not just in The Exorcist.
Especially in Florida.
Right?
They have possession.
Florida has that. Florida has zombies.
Yeah.
All of it. Florida's fucked.
It's just wild.
They got them. I don't
think it's fucked.
They got them.
It's great.
They got them beaches though.
They got them beaches though.
They still got Casey Anthony. She's still running around.
Oh, she ain't got no more kids to kill. She's not famous.
She wrote a fucking book. What a cunt.
No, she didn't.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Is it a how-to book?
I'm sure she had like a ghost written book, but hang on, let me fact check myself. Why are we fact checking ourselves all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Because I'm here.
We get it.
Our guest is anxious about being right or wrong, and she's influencing your fact checking. You need to be bolder. Anyway, demonic possession. Yeah. So apparently, there's up to like usually at least 10 exorcisms a year. Still, even though people don't consider,
like where it's
just this is in America.
Vatican sanctioned shit.
This is
legit.
in America.
It's
but
real stuff.
Did you know there are other denominations that do exorcisms?
What?
Did not know this because there was a lady in Arkansas. This is I pulled this from KATV, like the Little Rock fucking news, like their own page, and this woman just kind of this wasn't some crazy hillbilly like psychopath. She was like, this woman was like a flight nurse at a hospital. Like she went on like air life with people and things like that. Like she had a good job. She took care of herself, everything. And they said one day she got off her shift and she had taken care of like her last patient and she just forgot where she was and what she was doing. And she was like, I don't know. What do I do now? How do I get home? And then she got really confused and got some people to help her home. And then she got home, and then she's like, I can't walk straight. Something's weird. I don't get it. And then
so she had a brain tumor.
Well, see, that's what I would think.
Yeah.
That's what I would think. And then they had an incident where she went back to the hospital one day, and she was just screaming at coworkers and stuff, just going wild to the point where she had to quit her job. And she was losing it, and everybody kept saying they gave her all these pills and all this stuff for mental illness. She went to the Mayo Clinic, and apparently there was a Church of Christ that was doing like a prayer service, and this lady heard about it. She didn't go to the church there because she was a Pentecostal. And apparently Pentecostals also exorcise demons, but they don't call them exorcisms. They call them demon castings.
Potato.
But I didn't know anybody else did this.
I didn't either.
Well, don't both of those fall in the umbrella of Christian?
Well, yeah. They do, but I'd never heard of anyone but Catholics doing like that had a process for that.
No, Baptists.
What?
Tell me about these Baptist exorcisms.
I'm curious.
I've never heard of them.
Please let me know.
I've never been involved in them, but I mean, Baptists.
I've never even heard of them.
They dance around with snakes and shit like that. They're fucking crazy too.
But did they specifically say we're exorcising the demons?
I mean, they might call it a demon casting or something.
Are they talking? Sure are you just talking about crazy faith healers that just?
Maybe that's more what I'm getting into.
That slap them on the head, or just wave their arm at an audience and they all fall down.
Cast some demons out.
Well, what I'm saying is I've never heard of another like mainline denomination of Christianity that had a process for this or called it something else. But apparently Pentecostals call it demon casting.
All right. Well,
now, Pentecostals, as like you probably know, most of us know from our area, they're loud and proud, fire and brimstone. You better act right or you're going to hell, you piece of shit.
Good people.
My words, not theirs. They're not going to say that. Not at the pulpit anyway. I don't know what they're like other than that.
Back at the barn though.
Again, let's preface this by saying that, we're not trying to dump on any particular religion. I just didn't know that this was a thing that Pentecostals did. That they did demon castings. And I'm not trying to make fun of it either. I just think it's interesting that they have their own version of exorcisms.
How is it? Do they have holy water and stuff like that? Or?
Basically, I think they just go and yell at her. I think you just have like your own personal Pentecostal prayer service.
That sounds pretty Pentecostal.
You just get a really. I mean, this is
get out here now.
This is. You have a COVID-19 sermon.
Right.
Get on out of here!
Get out of here now!
I blow
the breath of God on you.
Cast them demons out to the bowels of hell. But yeah, she came and tried to do this. She said, I could see the demons around this woman. They had her. She was ate up with them. She was ate up with demons. She was ate up with them. That's Arkansas. I mean, what else? That's proper terminology.
That's how you say it. Good reenactment of it.
It is. But she just kept getting crazier and crazier. And I guess they convinced her that she wasn't like...
The demon casting didn't work?
I guess they convinced her that it was demons and not like, hey, you have like something wrong with your head, or maybe the doctors couldn't find anything in time. Because the last thing I read on it, this woman was just sitting on her windowsill, whatever, and then she just fell out, and now she's paralyzed from waist down.
What?
Mind you, this is all a bunch of paraphrasing of this article. I might link it in the YouTube video. I might not. I'm pretty bad about not linking things that I say I will. But you can just Google exorcisms in Arkansas, and it's like
Hold
the first.
So her falling out happened like right after.
It was at the end of this whole ordeal.
Oh.
This was the last thing that I got from it.
Maybe she just wanted to take a long sleep.
But she didn't. Now she's paralyzed from the waist down, and this was like a really fit. Educated, hardworking, like nurse. Like I said, not something when people say things like that, it's some like backwoods, overtly just crazily Bible thumping. Like, not someone who like has done something with their life,
right?
But yeah, demon casting.
I have like that. See, and this is the thing about demon possessions and stuff like that. I had a hard time getting into it because every time I would start to get into it, it was just it seemed apparent that this is some sort of psychotic break or brain tumor, which I would assume it's a brain tumor, because some of them would go in to get, scans and stuff like that and it would show nothing. So, I mean, that would kind of disprove that, but some sort of psychotic break or... maybe
the oncoming of, like, a stroke or something that happens when people
or, like a dissociative identity disorder.
Something like that.
Multiple personality stuff, schizophrenia, things like that. Like, all of these, like, all the... Now, if I see anybody doing that, I'm going to immediately assume, like, this motherfucker's on meth. Or, they just need some sleep,
right,
or they just lost their fucking marbles. Any of those things, I'm not going to assume demon possession. However, if I come across somebody that's like doing this while levitating, that would freak me the fuck out.
Yes, that would
be an argument.
Like, okay, my disbelief has been suspended.
Yeah, there is a God.
Okay,
he's just levitating.
All right. I'll be in church Sunday.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
That simple. All right. And that will be that. That being said, if you want to let us know about your demonic possession or your ghost stories,
fucking come on the show.
You keep that conservative dogma the fuck away from me.
No.
And don't bring it to me.
I want to hear it.
Come talk to us.
No, because all it is conservative dogma.
Well, you can socially distance. I'll talk to you.
Also, if you want to talk about what we're going to lead into here in a little bit, your alien stories, you keep that libtard propaganda to yourself, motherfucker.
How is that libtard?
You got to spread them up somehow. They got to take
How
sides. This is my reasoning. Okay, conservative propaganda is for possessions and ghosts because it denotes that there's an afterlife and spirits, and it just ties a little more to religion, which conservatives typically do. Aliens is basically just because Star Trek is super progressive and liberal, and that's it.
Warhammer.
Star Wars. That's very religious.
Warhammer is like women aren't allowed to be transhuman, only men.
Well, that's because I don't
know. Actually, I think it's like in the lore that it's not like it's not an allow or disallow. It's more like a just genetic.
That sounds like the liberal propaganda.
In defense of Warhammer.
That sounds like the liberal propaganda they're pushing anyway. All it has to do with space. Space is liberal propaganda anyway.
You know? Yeah.
There. That is also our splash of politics. Because this was originally going to be like a political podcast and like a deep dive into like all that. And I watched like 20 minutes of a debate and I was like, I give so few fucks about any of this shit. I don't care.
Bad. Speaking of aliens, Kanye West is running for president. That dude is a fucking alien. He's like not like a real smart alien though. He's like an alien that hasn't quite figured out what humans are.
He's figured out an algorithm because he's developed all that success. But the act of just being a normal human, he doesn't have.
Yeah. He's like a really, really good AI.
It's like someone has like a 10 terabyte like flash drive plugged into his brain of memes and how like things that the world works and that they like, and then he just taps into little things, and that's how he has established like his rapping career and his like clothing line and all that. But when it comes to just talking to people, that guy is crazy.
That dude is the worst person.
He did write a book.
I didn't read it. It had too many words.
That flash
all
drive
wordy and shit.
It's all wordy and shit.
All right. There weren't any pictures going from right to left. So I didn't read it.
No, I didn't read it.
Yeah, so,
I think it was only like 20 pages in there.
Aliens are the one thing... By the way, Casey Anthony, sometime this year in March, said she was going to write a no-holds-barred memoir.
I thought you were going to say a no-holds-barred how-to book.
Said she was going to?
Going to, so I don't know if it's come to fruition.
I can't let that joke go.
I can't imagine that she could write a whole book.
Anytime someone just says something about her writing a book, I have to ask them if it's a how-to book.
Okay, so aliens. That's the one thing out of all this that actually trips me. Demons, I don't worry about things that go bump in the night. Ghosts don't bother me anymore. I grew up this week. And but aliens freak me out because there is a high probability that they exist.
There's a law that proves they
There
exist.
is a high probability that they exist.
There are two squid people on X85-Mars doing this same thing right now. And one of them is right because they are going off the law of averages.
I'm going off the law of averages. It says there's a high probability.
Well, I'm going off the law of averages. It says that they are because it's a law.
Oh, god damn it, dude. Okay, so anyways. So I'm a little freaked out by that because if they make contact with us, like if that's the flow of communication is them to us, then that means they're better than us.
Oh, exponentially. We would be beholden to whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can have our Independence Day fantasies all we want.
Right. I love this idea that like aliens come here and we fucking like scrappy, plucky Earth. Like
we fight them off with a 12 gauge,
right, and a pistol. It's like these are they've mastered like traversing the galaxy, and they come here with all their fucking crazy tech, and like me with
we also don't know if they're not just biologically superior either. I
mean, that would be up for debate, but I would think, like, if they come all this way, if they make it here, if aliens were to show up here in spaceships and stuff, they probably took that shit into account. Like, they're not gonna show up here and like pop their door open and be like, oh, gross, this atmosphere, I can't breathe. Like,
right.
They didn't come all the fucking way here.
This water killed me.
They're gonna consider the wildlife. Yeah, this water. Oh shit, this thing's covered in water.
This thing that makes up most of the surface of the planet and is just floating in the atmosphere.
Right.
We didn't consider anything. The law of averages.
Damn it. Or they hacked our computers.
Yes, they hacked their computers with a fucking floppy disk.
With Windows 98.
It was probably fucking Windows 3.1. Fucking shit. They're trying to play their solitaire and Minesweeper.
They stuck in here and stuck a floppy drive. The master CPU.
And then they have a spot on their spaceship that if you shoot it, it just explodes.
Just the one spot.
Just the one spot.
Holy shit, yeah. But,
yeah, that wouldn't happen.
And I love that fucking movie, by the way.
Oh, it's fun. It's super fun.
But yeah, if they come here, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be like that. Like, so recently, I believe it's our Navy released footage of a UFO. Like,
yes, this was the very first thing we spoke about in the very first podcast.
So, anyways, they got this footage of this. They're calling it a Tic Tac, fucking Tic Tac, and this motherfucker went from like sea level, so like none feet, to like 60,000 feet in 1 second. Right, so, and it was like actively jamming their radars or whatever shit they used to sonar. They use sonar,
whatever they use to lock on.
Yeah, whatever they use for that shit. It was like actively jamming that stuff, and so this is one instance the government's like fessed up to. This really happened. It's quite the phenomena, you know. And it had like no, it didn't show any sort of like propulsion, no heat signature of any sort of propulsion. So there was like no way it should have been moving, but it was moving rather quickly.
Yes.
Rather quickly. And
wasn't it doing like little tricks and stuff?
Yeah, like breaking the laws of
physics, yeah.
Physics, yeah.
Known physics, yeah.
Let's give that dog a fucking bone.
But yeah, assuming that this is alien craft, assuming that they checking shit out and they're getting ready to, because like before you go to war, you send a scout, right? And that's like, so like let's say it's just a scout. Yeah, and they're like, we couldn't do anything to that.
No,
like we couldn't do anything to that.
No, we couldn't.
It's too fast.
Even if it wasn't equipped to do anything to us, it wouldn't matter, because what are you going to do? Shoot a gun at it?
Right. That's what I'm getting at. Like, if they come here, we are so beyond fucked. We're so just like, but fucking put the ball gag around my mouth, put the butt plug in my ass, and call me doggy. Because ain't shit I can do.
Right? It's time to start hobnobbing.
I'll be a good boy.
Let's see if we can make these fuckers laugh.
Right?
That's the best you can
That's the best we can do. Make them laugh. But so yeah, that shit. That or you know, there's the idea that they're benevolent and they come here, and I reject that.
You don't think there's any way that they would be like that?
The fuck do they care?
I don't think that they would definitely be benevolent, but I don't think that they would immediately be hostile either. I think they would just be inquisitive. Like, out scouting the stars just to be like, man, what's up with these monkeys?
Right.
Huh? And that's how I look at it. I feel like
that's why we haven't seen the fleet. They're just like.
I feel like if something happened, we tried something, they might be like, just just a small show of force to be like, guys, come on, stop it, please, stop it. You're embarrassing yourselves.
Well, there's. So, like, you read up on, like, a lot of, like, abductee, or, I don't know, I've kind of got into some abductee stories and stuff, and, these, it doesn't necessarily seem like they're, like, alright, so whenever we come across something, like an animal, like, we take it, we tag it and shit,
yeah,
we might cut it open, see what makes it fucking tick,
right,
because the name is science, it's good for. So, like, it kind of seems to be, like, the bent of all, like, alien abductee stories and stuff. And, like, I just can't imagine, like, this superior intelligence is going to come down here and try to make fucking friends with us or something. Like, they might try to figure out what makes us tick, what they can maybe, learn from us, use for us and stuff. But I don't think, like, they're not going to, like, hey, here's a cure for fucking cancer or anything like that.
Right.
They're gonna fucking cut us open. Shit. Look at Skinwalker fucking Ranch.
Yeah.
What they're apparently doing to livestock. Like, these fucking cows are just like turned inside out, basically, and other like scavenger animals won't even touch them. Like, just weird ass shit. No fucks with no animal, no aliens, dude. They don't even. Like, it's okay to experiment. We're like monkeys, we're fucking just hairless apes running around. We're just monkeys. And we test on monkeys. Yeah. And they're just like, yeah, fuck it. We can just fuck around with these things. That's full of this stuff. Let's see where this one goes.
If you're at the top of the food chain, that's what you do.
That's fucking terrifying.
Well, get used to it, bud.
I don't fucking like it.
You have an animal that you just feed dry kibble in a bowl. Because you think it's fun to have around to sit on your lap and pet it.
Pretty good to those.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Why don't you cook for them? If you like them so much.
They get people food every now and then. Also, don't want them like throwing up in the fucking house and shit.
Well, there you go. They don't want us throwing up in their fucking house and shit. Maybe if you're nice to it, we're nice to them. We'll get some Hot Pockets.
Ooh.
Otherwise, we'll probably just get I don't know, what would be the most.
I guess that kind of is the flip side. We become like a pet planet.
Probably.
And they just like.
I already tell you right now. You know who the pets would be? It would be the people that can like fucking do backflips and shit. It would be like your entertainers, athletes,
right? Make them laugh.
People like us.
Make them laugh.
We would be in the salt mines.
You think they would trust us with work? Like, they made it all the way here. Like,
they
would probably run into other species that are better suited.
That's a good point, too. They might just get rid of the rest of us. Just kill us all off.
I think we just, like, turn into, like, stray cat situation. Like, they put us in cages, and, like, if none of the squawguars want one of us, they just gas us after a few weeks. I'm assuming there's squawguars.
I mean, that could happen. I don't know. Fucking aliens, man.
Hunter thought I was an alien.
What's your favorite?
Night.
Oh
yeah. So I've been reading up on I've been like really getting into aliens and stuff. So I've been really freaking myself out. And last night, like oh shit, you're gonna have to edit that name out.
God fucking damn it!
Put a timestamp on it, dude. Put a timestamp on it.
Just put like a little beep.
No, that's too much trouble. I'd have to go find a beep and then put that in there. It's easier just to clip it out.
So anyways.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Sorry, it slipped out. So, Brooke and the youngest, they're sleeping in bed, so I'm like, there's no room for me. So I'm like, alright, I'll just sleep. So anyways, Brooke and the youngest, they're in bed, there's no room for me. So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna go hit the couch. So I'm sleeping on the couch, or like trying to go to sleep, and I hear some shit like getting drug across the floor.
And you thought it was a fucking alien?
Well, I've been fucking geeking out on aliens, so I'm spooked. You know, I'm just walking around. I've been walking around spooked for a week now.
So you thought that a fucking alien got inside your house, parked outside your house?
I wasn't thinking rationally. I was scared. I thought something was being drug around. That was enough to convince me.
You didn't think it was like a monsterman?
I was just like, they came.
Or a
Hunter.
serial killer.
They came,
or a
Hunter.
serial killer.
It's happening.
You jumped over even a burglar?
Yes.
Or a cat? Anything. And then... Fuck.
I was like half asleep, dude. I wasn't being rational about things.
Alien dreams.
It's probably halfway into an alien dream.
Yeah.
I heard some shit getting drug across the
I love that that's where you went with
and
that.
I freak out and I sit up. I'm like, oh shit, they're here for you, Hunter.
They're here.
So I creep off of the couch. You know when you have that just dread, like it just gets in your bones and shit, that feeling that just everything's shaky. And I'm just like creeping along towards the hallway, and then I hear it again. I freeze, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then I hear a little after it, and I'm like, motherfucker, it's just Brooke snoring. Like she's in there just snoring her ass off. And yeah, that's my alien story.
I remember thinking that aliens were coming one time when I was like 12, and I was sleeping in my bed, or I was laying in my bed. It wasn't sleep, and I heard this noise, and it sounded like this weird, like I can't even make it. It's kind of a weird, like wee type of sound, and I was like, "What the fuck is that sound?" And I had been seeing a bunch of like alien shit on like Unsolved Mysteries or just weird shit on TV, but I just heard that sound. And I was like, "Oh god, it's a UFO! It's a UFO, and it's outside.
It's coming to get you. You open.
But that wasn't. That wasn't. At least that wasn't coming. At least that wasn't coming from inside the house.
It was what?
It was just outside. It was a noise outside. And it turned out, because I heard it a couple more times, I realized it was a train going through town. And the train track is like probably 3 or 4 miles away. And it was just making a weird noise for some reason that night.
You don't know it was a train.
Yeah, because it only happened when the train was going through town, bud.
Maybe that's what attracted whatever was making the noise.
The train that made the noise? Attracted something else that wasn't making noise?
It attracted something that was making that noise.
No, I just got accustomed to that noise because it was the train.
So did you sleep
assume,
that night?
allegedly?
Oh yeah, I went to sleep once I figured out what it was. I went to sleep knowing that there were aliens somewhere, just not there.
I don't have any
knowing for fact
paranormal, supernatural experiences.
You've never had any like ghosty stories?
Nothing.
I've never had any either.
Not a fucking one.
I've heard people tell me things like, "Oh, I saw this moving light,"
or like a rocking chair rocking back,
or something like that.
I've seen dumb shit like moving lights. I've seen stuff like that, but I'm always just like, it's probably a fucking nothing's like shot across the sky. It's always like, it's probably a fucking weather balloon. Maybe that's an airplane. Little shit like that. But and that's probably 90% of the footage we see of like UFOs,
right?
You know, but some of that shit, dude. Some of that shit, like the Phoenix Lights. You know about the Phoenix Lights?
I don't know about the Phoenix Lights.
It's like this.
Enlighten me.
Okay.
We listened to this the other day.
It's really you'd pretty much just have to watch the video of it. Like you'd have to see it.
Well, we'll recommend the Phoenix Lights to the Talk It Out audience.
It was like a fucking craft. There was like hundreds of people that saw this shit
from different parts of the,
and all of them had the same story. And one dude said he was on this bridge or something. It was overhead, and he could look out one window and see one wing, and he could look out the other side of the window and see the other wing. Like, that's how fucking big this thing was.
I mean, there's lots of stoners out west.
All at one time.
Yeah, because they're
have
all
people
high.
call in.
What time of day was it?
It was night.
It was night.
Probably stoned.
You don't have that many people call in and explain the same thing.
I think there's footage and shit of it too. Like, it's...
You want to know why? It's liberal propaganda.
Oh my god.
Birds aren't real.
They're not. I have heard of have you ever heard of the Garden Light?
That sounds really familiar.
It's a light in this town. It's Probably, it's quite a ways. It's maybe about an hour and a half north of here or something like that. It's in Arkansas. And it's supposedly this light that people will just see on the railroad tracks. It looks like a lantern just swaying left and right.
Yes.
And people will constantly say that, I've heard lots of people talk about this, that they'll go out and walk towards it and it'll appear behind them.
Yes.
And people were saying that it was, the reason it's there is because back in the day, when people were working on the railroad tracks, they were running out, they were putting all the rail down, so they were working themselves out of a job. And so people were coming out and tearing up the rails. And then so they had a guy start walking out at night to kind of look out for people. And then people killed him.
Lantern.
People killed him. And that's what that is. It's that guy. Still out walking.
Spoopy.
I've heard about that my whole life. I've never went and looked at it.
Swamp gas.
There's one near here. You guys know what I'm talking about.
No.
It's Falcon Monster.
Oh, shit.
Fucking,
Do you know a
fucking
lot
sand
about
squinch,
that?
dude.
Because I
Sand
still
squinch.
to this day don't know, like,
I know there's
the
a movie about it.
Story.
Fucking Boggy Creek and shit. I know you go to Falcon, there's a big fucking
There's a-
Monster Mart.
Right?
Oh, there is?
Fuck yeah,
It's
dude.
a
We got,
gas
like, big
station that's
Bigfoots.
all done up to look like Bigfoot.
Oh.
Bigfoot's a really fun one to me. Like, that's just a good time.
Yeah, because he's been spotted, like, all over.
Yeah, but nobody's ever really, like, got
Yeah.
any,
Right.
like,
Well,
evidence.
there was, but they think
I think Bigfoot
Docker.
is blurry, and that's more concerning. There's an out of focus monster roaming the
Oh, the
countryside.
Mothman, too. The Mothman, that's another...
You mean the Mothman from Aqua Teen?
Aren't Bigfoots are, like, all over, though, aren't they?
I feel like that's what people consider, that they're just sprinkled throughout the world. Because they're in Asia, they're called the Yeti.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
the same thing. He just lives in the snow,
Yep.
What do you
like
think?
on the Himalayas.
Is there Bigfoots? Any credence to that?
I would say probably not. I don't think there are. I think it's fun, but people probably saw a bear walking upright and just were really scared and thought it was a Sam Squanch.
Right?
They were probably drunk
Probably drunk
or high
or high.
on the mushrooms.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, that's what I think. But I don't think Bigfoot's real. I mean, if you want to go down what is it? The cryptozoology rabbit hole with Bigfoots and
Oh, God.
chupacabras and Nessie.
Nessie's also really fun.
Now, there's one dinosaur that stuck it out.
It's
All
just,
it figured out the trick, and that was to go underwater.
it's just there. It's just there.
It's just
I like that
millions of years old.
It hasn't fucking died yet. Like, this thing's just been
It's
there.
an elder god. It's like a Cthulhu monster,
Right?
but it's just really chill.
Yeah, fuck it. It's all a bunch of hogwash. Back in the day, it was pixies and fairies and elves and shit.
Yeah.
I wish.
Changelings.
I wish dwarves and elves were real things. That would
Why?
Because it'd have breastplate and
Bro, you have breastplate. Breastplate
Good
exists.
but like good dwarven built like
You want like mithril?
the good like +2 shit.
It's like on a diamond breastplate.
You're right. Dwarves are stupid.
Dwarves are stupid.
That's a dumb wish.
Buddy, come
They're
here.
just bearded assholes that live to be like 150 years old.
Like rocks
Love
and
to-
shit.
They like rocks and drinking. And elves are just a bunch of metrosexual, condescending cunts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all elves are. The
So-
elves are probably the least spoopy thing on the fucking planet. At least dwarves could be spoopy. I could see that.
Elves
They're-
are spoopy.
They're not spoopy.
The drow?
That's racist.
Oh, Christ's sake. They're spoopy.
They're not spoopy.
They're spoopy.
They're not spoopy. They're prissy.
They're
Even the most coolest
Cave
fucking elf
wandering-
there is, fucking Drist, is a prissy bitch.
be careful who you call them prissy bitch.
They just like, he got a sword, a tiger. Look at me, I'm Drist. I'm cool. Because you know who's Drist is just fucking Drist is just San Francisco He-Man.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, that's a workaround for saying bad stuff.
Oh, He-Man. Yeah. Mm. No, I've never had anything spoopy. I remember when I was a kid, like I went to church all the time and shit.
Spook the shit out of you.
Well, fuck yeah, dude. Like, cause I think there's this thing that happens when you really believe in this stuff.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, fella.
Come on.
You really believe in this stuff, like you just open yourself up to these I guess like psychological experiences.
I guess, yeah. Well, you're dealing with supernatural events, so you kind of have to.
Jesus Christ, these cats, man.
Come here, homie.
They just want to be involved.
They've never been this much involved before.
Mama's here.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Looks in here.
Oh.
So nobody here has had any sort of paranormal.
No, I wish I did.
I can't think.
I mean, I see things sometimes, like out of the corner of my eye. Like I'll try to like catch something, but like yeah.
I can't
just
think of.
You're all cracked out on like
Coffee
20 cups of coffee and
I can't
3 hours of sleep.
I can't think of anything nearing like a type of like ghost experience. I've never seen any Bigfoots. There was that one like the UFO freak out I had that one time.
Right.
That was it.
I envy these people. Like, it seems like a good fucking time. You know?
To have like that story in your back pocket to just like bring up.
Yeah.
At a party.
What, you mean lies?
What?
Just lies?
I
I mean, we could just make up
like
a story.
Some of these people are really fucking
experience.
credible, man.
Even if it is
They spin a
bullshit,
good yarn.
They believe it.
They spin a good
They're
yarn.
just not famous enough so they can get away with it. And people are like, man, there's something to that. God, fucking Ricky. That guy. He knows all kinds of shit about fucking elves.
You know, there are people that I think like they take that shit so fucking for real that they actually do believe in like elves and pixies and shit. And I think the same thing could also apply to like ghosts, possessions.
Right.
It's just I think it's mostly just a sort of shared delusion.
Yeah, after watching BuzzFeed, the paranormal series, it was just kind of like,
nothing.
Not so scared anymore.
Nothing even spooky happened.
What Oh, yeah. Was it something like one of those ghost hunting shows or something like that?
Well, no, because the like ghost hunter, like they'll fake some shit. This was like
trying to.
These are like actual, they're just dudes, and one
just
of them,
a no bullshit ghost hunting.
Well, one of them doesn't believe in any of it. He thinks it's fucking retarded. And the other one is just sold on it. Like every creak in the house is a footstep, you know. So they go in and the one dude always tends to come out thinking like, it probably is, and the other dude's just like, it's fucking not. Like no,
it was the wind blowing.
No,
there's never. So that's the thing. There's never any fucking solid proof of any of this shit.
Right. It's just creepy.
Like, never is.
Noises.
We've got the one video from the Navy people.
For that, yeah.
You know, got that. No, but there's nothing for ghosts. There's nothing for demons. There's nothing for any of that shit.
Well, there could be. It's just, it's so easy for people to say that it's fake nowadays because you can Photoshop and doctor a video. So
right.
nobody's going to believe it. Even
the average person could make the average person today could make a video and show someone in like the 60s and they would just lose their shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Well, I don't know. What would be a government cover-up for, like, ghosts? Like, why? Like, if they know of the existence of ghosts and shit, what would be a reason for...
I don't think there would be.
Right. So, I don't... And think the government hasn't explored that shit. They're, like, making people...
They would want to highlight
move blocks with their mind.
That would be... That would push people to vote. The Republicans would be all about pushing ghosts. Jesus confirmed.
You know, Jesus confirmed. I think ghosts... That would go the other direction, wouldn't it?
There were ghosts in the Bible, weren't there?
I don't think so.
I don't think there were, actually. It was the Holy Ghost.
That was the one.
The
That
Holy
was
Ghost.
That turned into rock and
Well,
roll.
I think that they would spin that in more of like, oh, spirits, afterlife, da da da.
Angels and...
When in reality, it's probably more of like a 13 ghost situation, where it's a spooky house with seals on it and a giant dude with an axe in his head like rips
I
you in
remember
half.
that movie!
And there's like
Sorry,
a
I
naked
got
chick
really
with a knife
excited.
that tries to cut you up.
Oh, yes. That was
I don't
a
remember any of the
weird
other
movie.
ghosts. There was a big tall hillbilly, and then there was a naked chick with a knife. The other
Is
ones
that
I
the
don't
one where
remember.
they go in the house? And they go,
That's the
Like
one-
different,
That's the one
little
where
door-
Monk has to solve the case.
It's like they had several ideas for
Monk slash that guy from Wings when he played a foreigner. I don't remember his actual name.
It's been so long.
And
He's Monk.
fucking that dude from Scream. The Matthew Lillard.
Oh, yes.
He's in
that's
it.
right.
The dude that was one of the killers in Scream is like a paranormal
Doesn't he
psychologist.
die?
I don't think I ever watched Scream.
Doesn't he die?
You didn't?
I didn't watch most.
Scream was a
horror
fun.
movies, not until-
Scream was a fun movie for
Your
me
mom wouldn't have
because
let you.
Well,
yeah,
fuck
that's
no.
true too. It was a fun movie for me because it did kind of poke at like tropes in horror. It came out where they talked about stuff like that because they're like watching Halloween and they're breaking down the rules and that kind of appealed to me. Did you ever watch anything that actually scared you when you were a kid?
Ooh, I got a good one, but you can go
Well,
first.
if you got it, go ahead. Let me think.
Hold on.
Yeah. I got it.
Hi. Okay, so scary movie that seriously traumatized me as a child. Like I still think about this movie. It's called Milo, and it's about this little boy who has like this yellow rain jacket, and you never see his face in the entire movie except at the very end. But in the movie, he's like targeting these, well, at the beginning, they're young girls, and he's like taking them in his little bitty shed shop, whatever, torturing them. And then these girls grow up, and he has this
They didn't
little
kill him.
bite. No, I think, did he kill one? I think he killed one. And he comes back. They're all grown up, and he's like terrorizing them with his bike that he has. He has like a little ding ding, like a bell. I couldn't watch bikes or like listen to that noise for like a really long
This
time.
kind
It
of
creeps
sounds
me out.
adorable.
How old were you?
I was like 9.
Oh,
And but anyways, at the end they kill him, blah blah blah. He's already dead. He had drowned, but he was coming back to like haunt them or whatever. But I remember I watched this at one of my friends' house, and I was so fucking scared that night that I called my mom at like midnight. Like I woke up my friend's parents and was like, I need to go home. I'm scared. My parents had been out doing something, so they were pissed. They had to come pick me up. And I remembered I had begged my mom to sleep in her bed that night. And she said, no, but you can sleep in the floor. So they made me a little pallet, and I slept in the floor, and I didn't sleep for the whole fucking night. I was so traumatized by this little boy, this little dead boy in a yellow rain jacket.
Milo,
Did-
what does
Name
face look
Milo.
like?
did you tell him that you didn't sleep at all that night?
I remember telling my mom like years later how fucking scared I was and how all I needed was for her to like hug me that night. And I didn't get it because I think they were so pissed
Man,
off that they had to cancel
if-
their plans.
If you had told me that you didn't sleep at all that night, I would have grounded the shit out of your ass. Because, like, you could have not slept at your friend's house.
Dude, I was
I had to come home
so
for that.
scared. Look it up, Milo.
Milo.
It was like made in the 80s or
Yeah.
something.
Milo and Otis, terror of all
No,
children.
not Milo and Otis. Oh, and to make
that
it
pug
even
had
more
fucking
fucked up,
problems.
I told my friend about this later on in life. She ordered the movie off of Amazon, and we watched it together. She laughed all the way through it. I'm not going to lie.
It scared you again.
It scared me again.
Scared you again. God,
Scared-
yeah. Fool me once. Shame on you.
I didn't tell her, but like that night I did lay in bed and I was like, fucking Milo.
What about you, bud? You have any scary movies?
I didn't really watch any scary movies until I was already like grown
I
up.
was about to say, you probably didn't have
So,
much opportunity for anything like that.
So no, I don't have any movies, but I read this story, and out of this Stephen King book, Everything's Eventual. The story is what was that called?
1408.
1408.
Yeah.
And it's a short story called 1408, and it's this dude goes. His job is to go check out places that are haunted.
John Cusack.
John Cusack, yeah, and
They made a film on this.
Film didn't do the book justice, or maybe I was too old.
I'm just saying that they did make a film.
Yeah, I've seen it. Wasn't bad.
Oh yes, he was in that. Yes.
They did a decent job with it.
Morgan Freeman, wasn't he?
No, I think it was Samuel L. Jackson.
Are you sure?
You can
Pretty
fact
sure- I
check
thought
me
it
on
was
that real
Morgan
quick.
Freeman too.
Oh, I was going to show y'all Milo first.
Don't go in that fucking room.
That plays really well for
There's Milo when he's like dead. That one part that you see his face.
He looks a little bit like Harry Potter,
Okay.
like pruny Harry Potter.
And here is the photo of him. Or no, that's a video. Milo. That was him.
No, that's Samuel L.
9
Jackson.
years old.
That's
that would
adorable.
fucking terrify you.
That's
no.
like the shit out of E.T. It's
Oh
just
my
like
god.
No, I was right. It's Samuel L. Jackson. Y'all are totally racist.
Damn it. Again?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Shit. I hate it when I'm racist.
Mixed up.
Alright, so this dude, he goes to all these various haunts.
Yeah.
And nothing's ever actually haunted. It's all bullshit.
Right.
Whatever. So then he goes to this hotel that has a haunted floor or something like that, and a really bad room, you know. So he goes there, he gets access to the room, and basically it just mind fucks you into killing yourself in some way. So he basically goes in this room, and it's like he just descends into hell, you know, but like in a really creepy Stephen King sort of way. But that, anyways, I remember there's this part in this story where this guy, there's a phone and it starts ringing, and he answers it. And it just starts screaming like random like colors and shit at it, like orange, motherfucking red, and shit like that.
Does it say motherfucking?
Yeah, like it's like cussing, like it's a goddamn orange, motherfucking red. And
that's hilarious.
This is the thing about Stephen King, though. He writes madness really well.
Yeah,
like
he
he
does.
really captures insanity. And any constant reader out there knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking
The
about.
Shining.
But this it like that part of that, like, just for whatever reason that really like resonated with me. It really struck home.
Orange and red.
And I finished the story. I closed the book, and I left. This is like in the middle of the day too, and like I walk out of the fucking house because I can't stay in the fucking house. And I went and just sat. We had a trampoline in our yard, and it was like wide open yard. And I just went and I sat on that trampoline for like hours. And I was just like, I'm not fucking going back in that house. Like, I was just so thoroughly creeped the fuck out. Like, I didn't freak out and run. I finished the story. I shut the book. I got up. I walked outside, and I just sat on the trampoline for a long time. And I was like,
Don't want to do
I
it.
think the
not
only
fucking
part
going back. I was like 14, 15 years old, something like that. You know, a little old to be getting that spooked, but it like
You were
got,
impressionable though,
dude. It got me to my fucking core. I was. When I tell you, I was shook.
It was more of a psychological scare instead of just a jump scare type thing, you know.
Yeah, it got under my skin, dude.
What I was going to say was the only part about that story that really creeped me out, like I'm not going to take away your horror that you experienced from that story.
Please do.
Was the beginning, before he ever even goes in the room and the
concierge,
the clerk, whatever, Samuel L. Jackson is telling him what has gone on in that room, like the suicides and the murders. That part is,
and then he's like, "Don't go in that fucking room."
Yeah, that's like the only part that really got to me. It was really interesting because I want to hear about those stories. Why didn't Stephen King do a prequel of 1408? Telling
what was that book that Chuck Palahniuk wrote that was supposed to be
Haunted?
Spooky? Is that all the short stories
God,
that apparently
that
that wasn't spoopy at all. That was just gross.
Do you remember Guts?
Yes,
the story.
yes, I remember
I will
Guts.
never forget
That's
that.
what I was wondering. Because people are always talking about how like he would read this and
People
Maybe
would
people would
pass out.
faint.
people would faint.
Oh,
and-
shut the fuck
You
up.
think
No,
those, you
it
think
was
those
No,
were
the fuck
plants?
they did not.
You think they had plants?
Yeah.
I
If,
did.
if people were like falling on the floor, obviously they were fucking.
I
playing.
had to put the book down a couple of times. I'm not gonna lie in that story, and I usually don't do that. Nothing really creeps me out or
It
disgusts
wasn't
me.
even
It was
creepy,
the
it was
carrot.
just gross.
It was the carrot at
The
the
carrot in the
beginning of the
ass.
story, and then
I know there's
You
one
know,
part
the
where
end.
like
They have
they're,
the chew
they're
through
like-
his own asshole.
they're like slicing off pieces of this chick's ass or something and cooking it or something
Yeah.
like that. And like, oh, you have the most succulent ass of us all.
Yes. I need to reread
Something like that. I when I was a kid, the only things I can really remember. There was one story, not really any movies or anything, because like I saw like Friday the 13th and like Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was like, these guys are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like this stuff is neat. I mean, I still always look at those movies like a Friday the 13th or a Halloween. It's kind of like a Godzilla movie for me. I just want to see this guy go nuts and like destroy shit.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
It never really scared me that much.
Well,
But when I was
when
young,
I got older, I got into zombie movies, and that was kind of my reaction to that. Like, I just wanted to see zombies run around and fuck shit up, but it
Yeah.
was never scary.
but there was this book, and it was called like Scary Stories for Sleepovers, and I had one of them, and it was kind of like it's,
so it wasn't the scary.
No,
stories
not-
to tell in our-
no, not
No,
that.
not
This
that.
is not the more famous one. This
Okay.
is something I got at a book fair,
Oh,
and I had
fine.
gotten like actually I got that other set of books, the ones they made the movies about. I got those from a book, the same book fair actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
But this one, it was more. The first one I read was more generics type stuff, kind of similar takes on like there's a hook on the door type
Right.
shit.
Right.
And there was nothing really. Some of them were interesting, but nothing was really spooky. And I had a friend who was like, "No, read this one." It was one that came before. He's like, "This one has this really fucked up story in it." He's like,
Was it about the dog?
"No,
Is it the dog?
this is the other set of books, not the scary stories to tell." in the
No,
dark.
okay. I'm thinking. Of
This is
something else.
and he gave this to me. I was in like fourth grade, maybe. I think when I read this, I was still fairly young, and the story is about this kid and his family who move into this supposedly haunted house. They don't know what happened to the family before that, and it builds up where nothing really happens at first, and nothing really happens. Then things start getting spooky, and then when all the shit goes down, it starts explaining about how he's seeing like their shadows, like killing the people in his family, and it goes into really gruesome detail, much more than any of the other stories in any of those books that I
Right.
read. And I was like, this is really, really like it messed with me because it was just like because I wasn't used to anything that graphic just being described that way, especially from a book that's like 50 pages long. It's just a bunch of little short
Right.
spook
That
stories.
you get at a book fair?
Yeah. And it's just these ideas. And for a while, it's like every time I would go to bed, and it's just like I was freaked out by my own shadow for a little bit as a kid.
Oh,
The
wow.
only thing other than that is like I remember getting like jump scared by like Resident Evil 2
Oh,
the
yeah.
first time I
Oh,
played
yeah.
it. Because I wasn't used to games doing stuff like that.
I read one of those stories out of it was like Night Frights or some silly shit like that.
Yeah.
But there's this these couple friends go camping, and they're staying in this cabin or something. And the one friend, he's like, I'm gonna go grab some wood or something. So he's out and he's getting wood, and then he starts seeing like hearing somebody like dragging a shovel or something. It sounds like.
I do remember.
He starts getting spooked and stuff, so he goes back to the cabin. He's like, "Hey, there's like something weird going on outside. It sounds like somebody's carrying a shovel." And he's like, "Oh, it's old man Weatherby with his snow shovel. He's a resident ghost. Ha ha ha." I was like, "I'm not scared of him. I'll go get the wood." So he leaves, and he's just gone for a long time. And then the dude's sitting there just getting more and more worried, and he's terrified, doesn't want to go outside. And then he starts hearing this scratching at the fucking door. And he's like, "I ain't fucking opening that door." And he just keeps hearing these fucking scratches. And he's like, "I ain't opening that fucking door." And then the next morning he wakes up, and somehow he falls asleep. Wakes up, and he's like, his friend's still gone and stuff. And he's worried. He's like, "I'm going to get the fuck out of here." So he goes and he opens the door. and there was his dead friend with his head smashed in by a shovel, and he was clawing at the front door trying to get in. And I was like, Jesus Christ! Like,
well,
this is not for kids.
At that point, it was best. It was best to not open the door.
Well, obviously he did the right thing. I'm just saying, like, I was like,
it was too late for that
10,
guy.
And I read that and I was like, what the fuck?
No.
No, the
It
dog.
was like that was meant for kids. Like Goosebumps. That's an age appropriate scary story.
Yeah.
Like a dummy that comes to life.
Yeah.
You know?
Slappy.
Stuck in a scary museum. You know, Slappy. Or what was the one that there's Camp something that had
Camp
like
Blood or something like
Camp
that?
Jelly Jam or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
that is it.
Camp
Jelly Jam.
It had the big fucking jelly monster that sweated snails.
I don't
Oh,
remember
scary snail sweating jelly monster! All the camper kids have to wash him, and it stinks real bad. You know,
Ew, it's icky and
that's
gooey.
age appropriate. Not got his fucking head smashed in with a shovel while he was trying to claw his way through the cabin door. That's fucked up.
That's pretty fucked up. Did you get that at the book fair?
Yes.
All right.
It's like
Book fairs.
little penguin press.
Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
Penguin press.
It's right there. It's right there beside Goodnight Moon.
Did your mom give you a lot of money for the book fair?
No, I can. She did
Because I remember my mom did not, and I remember I wanted so many books.
Dude, I lucked out so hard
She gave
because
us some.
I have So when I was in elementary school, my grandma was the principal, and I never really got any preferential treatment out of it. Matter of fact, she whipped my ass a lot.
Yep.
But there was one time she happened to be in the library and the book fair was going on, and I was looking through stuff, and I'd already bought that one scary story book I told you about, but the scary stories to tell in the dark, the set of them, it was there too, and she was like, "Well, just pick you something out. You can have whatever you want." I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "This is like $20." She's like, "Yeah, you can have it."
Aww.
And I was like, "Dope."
Coolest kid in school.
And I got to show off. Look at all this shit I got, dudes.
So
All these
jealous.
scary stories. Look, that was the one that had stories like there's like a dude following a girl home. He's flashing his lights at her and stuff like that. And she's freaking out more and more as he does it. And then she gets there and she's like, "That guy's trying to get me." And it's like, "No, bitch, there's a guy that's trying to stand up over the seat and kill you. And I was scaring him with my headlights." a lot of urban legend stuff.
Yeah.
A dude that's like, he's like, "I'm gonna cut this bitch's head off with an axe." And he's like, "Ooh, headlights! What the fuck? Yeah, take cover.
My one weakness.
Take cover." Goosebumps age appropriate. The other shit.
Do you have
Traumatizing.
any horror stuff that you would like recommend to people?
Oh fuck yeah, man!
Well, like let's hear a few. I mean,
the Walking Dead comics are great. The show is pretty decent too. There's a lot of fluff in it, but the show isn't bad. I thought it was okay. I like zombie shit. Dawn of the Dead, all the Dawn of the Dead shit.
Evil
Dead. I guess that's not zombie. It's still fucking fun though. Bruce Campbell is
right. Well, I mean, it doesn't
national
have to
treasure.
be like strictly just.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just something like with a horror bend, a horror theme. It doesn't all have to be fucking classic fucking psycho shit.
Pumpkinhead 1 and 2.
That was a good knot.
Oh,
great.
I forgot. There was one other thing that did scare me as a kid, and it was that fucking original It thing, but not the whole thing. One particular part where that kid is in the shower, and the showers are fucking going wild and things like that, and the clown is just.
Yes.
That scared the fuck out. You know, people talk about Jaws
never want to take a shower again.
Jaws making them not want to get in the bathtub. I was like, that's fucking stupid. There's not a shark in your fucking bathtub.
But
that fucking shower head might start going wild. I don't know. I'm 6. Like, I had the wherewithal to be like, sharks in the bathtub? You guys are fucking plebeians. Crazy psycho magic clown. Jury's out on you. Don't want to take a shower.
I like the scene, the little girl standing over the sink, And like
Beverly?
Beverly. She's standing over the sink in the balloon, like there's just fucking blood, like stop, just fucking everywhere. That was some creepy ass shit.
Did you see any of the new ones? I saw like half of the first one. I didn't finish it.
He didn't watch the second one with me. The second one, in my opinion, was really good. But
Stephen King movies are kind of made to let you down, you know.
Only if you've never read anything.
Well,
because I honestly haven't really read any of his stuff. But I also only like specific ones that I think most people don't like. Except for like Green Mile. Everybody likes that. But I fucking love, what is it? Duddits. What's the one with Duddits?
Fucking Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
I did too. I thought it was fantastic. I like the book too. I love both of them.
You get to see fucking Brody get his hand eaten by a shit demon or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Jason Lee.
Yeah, Jason Lee.
His hand bit off
by a shit monster.
And then the Punisher and a special kid from space kill the aliens. That has Morgan Freeman.
You know what's fun about the book is, you know, so like Dreamcatcher the movie, like you meet Duddits, who is he's intellectually disabled. Is that the term we landed on?
He's handicapped. He's handicapable.
He has Down syndrome.
He has handicapable.
Well, in the book, in the movie, he's a fucking alien.
Yeah.
Like he turns into like a weird slug creature and stabs the other one.
Yeah, he is also one of the weird aliens.
Yeah. So like he might have like a condition, might be on the spectrum in some way. Something might be going on with this.
This one alien on the spectrum bested all the other ones.
Well, or he might just be an alien. In the book, though...
No, I'm saying the alien itself is on the spectrum. That's why he behaves that way.
That's why I stayed behind. He's like, I'm good. Yeah, Scooby-Doo here. But in the book, he's not an alien. He's just Duddits.
Oh, really?
And he dies on the way to the water tower thing. He just dies on the way there.
Spoilers for this old book.
I
thought that was so fucking funny, though, because like I watched the movie first. And I was like, this big fantastic climax at the end. But in the book, you read it, and it's like, nah, he's just this special needs kid, and he dies.
For the Stephen King movies, though, they alter quite a lot. Every single movie from the book, they change up very significant parts, which is why I'm not that big of a fan of the movies.
What would you recommend people, Brooke, for their horror? Or serial killer, or serial killer stuff. Whatever. Spooky shit.
Man, anything Stephen King. Not anything Stephen King
for horror.
Specifically, the movie Dreamcatcher. She recommends it. She loves it.
Is that one horror?
No.
Really?
No, I just want people to watch Dreamcatcher.
It's just aliens.
I never even watched the movie.
I just want people to watch
halfway
Dreamcatcher.
through the book and gave up. It was one of those books I wasn't too happy with. I'm gonna go ahead and say shit. I don't know.
Carrie's pretty.
I mean, if you want to get like,
she wants some deep cuts.
Good.
She doesn't want to be a basic
bitch. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a Stephen King book called Cell, and it's sort of like Stephen King wrote a zombie book, and it's pretty fucking great. It's a bunch of zombie shit.
The Outsider was really good. The book.
Yeah, that was.
That's actually one of his more recent. And of course, I'm going to recommend Dark Tower series. That's my favorite. Oh, The Long Walk. I will recommend that till the day I die. The Long Walk.
These are just Stephen King books.
No, that's pretty scary. It's pretty
No, it's not.
Scary.
It's a bunch of kids. It's Hunger Games.
Ollie.
Yeah, but
it's Hunger Games, but a bunch of walking.
What was that movie again with the kid, Ollie? Or the one you said that you watched when you were a kid that scared you?
Oh, Milo.
Milo. I don't know how I got Ollie. Milo.
Ollie.
Yeah, recommend Milo.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of you.
Yeah, I already did earlier. I said, Milo, check it out.
I recommend Resident Evil 2.
I recommend that. I also recommend, this is a lot harder to get a hold of, but if you can, you should play Silent Hill 2. It doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the series. The whole game is very psychological based in its horror. And like you said, you don't need anything else. But it's also the only way you can play it is either on a PS2 or an original Xbox. And then there's a very shitty conversion of it on PS3 and 360.
So you got to be an OG to do this.
Kind of. I guess you do at this point because, I mean, you have to go back at least one generation. But it's such a cool game. I wish they would bring it forward. And it's such an interesting story. And there's a lot to interpret to it about how you might view the story and the characters. But it's really interesting. Other than games, I would say what I got onto before, and there's a lot of trash on it, but you find some gems, is go to r/nosleep. They do basically spoopy stories.
Ooh, yes.
And it's like just people post their own. Some of them are really interesting. Some of them are fucking trash. You kind of have to just
crush the rocks to find the gems.
Basically. But some of it's really cool. Also, I guess I'm just going to say you should watch Jason X because he's in space.
Why the fuck not?
Right?
Oh, I have a movie recommendation.
Gremlins is my shit. I remember my grandparents let me watch Gremlins.
I don't think Gremlins is really horror, but it's still fun.
Well, that little
I was like
weird
10, and it didn't bother me a bit. I thought it was a blast.
Midsummer. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It is like nightmare during the day, and it is one of the scariest, most fucked up.
Bunch of weird fucking.
Yeah, they go back to like. Don't they go like the Netherlands or something like that? They go to Europe somewhere.
Yeah,
you get to see a dude's wiener. Scared wiener.
Hang dong.
If y'all want to concentrate on that part, that is fine.
I'm just saying these are also like, in addition to being creeped right the fuck out, you can also expect to see a man's penis.
Yes.
Like
some weird
his like he's
scream.
running scared and his dong's just flapping.
Yes.
And you can't be more scared than when you're scared running from something terrified, butt ass naked in the middle.
Right, because nothing else matters.
Just your dick flapping in the fucking terrifying wind.
Yeah. Oh, and The Haunting of Hill House, the TV series on Netflix, that is probably one of the scariest shows I've ever watched in my life. And it's very well put together, and it's just really good.
If you want like a funny, like not so much really scary, spoopy thing, find The Babysitter on Netflix.
Is that the
That's a movie I've told you to watch like 2 or 3 times. It's basically like Home Alone, but you're fighting like Satan cultists instead of Harry and Marv.
That sounds like fun.
It's a fun movie. It's just based around like a spoopy premise.
I dig it. I fucks with it. Any murder stories like personal, close to home murder stories?
Oh well, if I'm thinking of the one that you're thinking of, go ahead and tell it.
What's the one on all of our minds, I believe?
Have y'all not talked about this yet?
I don't think so. It's probably a little too soon, isn't it?
I'm thinking it might be.
It's probably too soon.
Well, you've already opened the bottles, so just go for it. It's not like the news hadn't talked to... Y'all, there's this fucking crazy bitch around here that cut open the pregnant lady's womb.
Yeah.
That's
targeted her. She apparently had a list of pregnant girls she was trying to target, and this one took the bait.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Foo doggy. This is a thing that happened. So there was a lady on she's like the Craigslist killer or something like that.
No, I think that was a man.
No, it was a couple. I'm pretty sure it was a couple.
They like advertised that they were selling children's clothes.
Yes, and yes, that did happen, but it wasn't the Craigslist killer.
What was this? Was it on?
I thought she was doing like personal ads on Craigslist, trying to get the people to hook up. Then they'd show up and they'd off them.
This is a good time for psychopaths. Like this is a good time to be alive because you Tinder. Just get on Tinder.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a Tinder serial killer out there right now.
You'd never know because they're just changing profiles all the time. Just changing profiles.
And they probably just haven't got caught yet.
Mm-hmm. Killing dudes. Just killing dudes. In my scenario, this is a female serial killer.
Equal opportunity. Yeah.
It's rare. Super rare.
Dudes are more likely to go to somebody's house at 12 o'clock at night if you show them some nice tits.
Yeah.
What do you? You can't. It's a lot harder to convince a girl to leave her house. Like, bitch, I got options. I'm not coming to your fucking house.
But we don't have tits.
It's true.
And the other
nobody wants to look at the. Nobody wants to
get lured in.
Nobody want to be. No one is swayed by our downstairs mix-up.
No. Nobody's gonna come running for that. So
story.
Yeah, if you're gonna kill people on Tinder, you'd have to be. You'd have to at least pose as a woman.
But I've never had a real. I guess if you want to talk about real close to home, nothing within my sphere of influence. No one that I know that has went through anything like that.
The craziest thing about the story we were just talking about, the girl that cut the baby open, or cut the woman open to get the baby, she fled and somehow got stopped by a police officer, and she was like, oh my God, my baby's not breathing, so he escorts her to the hospital. And, the doctors and nurses there are like, this girl did not just have a child, because she had claimed she had the baby in the car.
This ain't her baby.
And she had the umbilical cord in her pocket. From what I heard,
she was going to use some
hiding it.
She was going to make some of those. What do you call them? The not messy way stem cells, non-embryonic stem cells. That's what she was going to do with that.
I don't know what was going through her
she was
head.
thinking that deep in.
No, that's what she was going. That was her end game.
Well, there was a huge rumor going around for like 3 days that her husband was involved in this.
He was not.
To find out, he was not.
He was not.
He was lied to as well. And, yeah.
That's fucking...
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. We also forgot to add she was lying, saying she was pregnant. And that's why she was targeting these women so she could get a child.
After she had
and
a
even told her husband. So
she could get a child?
Yeah. Because she had faked her pregnancy.
Non-embryonic stem cells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess you can't make them on her own.
I don't understand people.
But the spoopy aspect of that is this is not an isolated incident. There are many cases of women doing this.
There are. I told Hunter about this the other day. He couldn't believe it. He said, no way.
Do they just think their own genetics are shit and they want somebody else's baby?
No, I think they just lie. From what I've heard, it's women that can't have children, have had miscarriages, have lost a child, and they're targeting these women so they can get a baby.
But you're not going to be able to keep that baby.
They obviously are fucked up in the head.
There's definitely some type of chemical imbalance in their brain.
But this happens over and over again.
Bitches be crazy.
But the same kind of crazy? Yeah, bitches be crazy, but the same kind of crazy?
I don't know, dude. Baby fever does something to girls. I don't know what to tell you.
Or just adopt.
God, that's like a...
It's
more than a fever. That's a... malady.
That's a malady.
That's a malady.
You never hear about men,
screaming for
children.
babies? No.
There's not a whole lot of dudes out there trying to steal a baby.
Never. I'm sure it's happened at some point, but...
No, we're just out there raping bitches.
There is that.
Apparently that happens. Apparently there's a lot
did y'all hear about the guy the serial rapist that was, he was raping these women specifically to get them pregnant? Like, he was keeping up with their ovulation dates.
What the
and
fuck?
would sneak in their house and rape them.
How did he
get them pregnant?
How did he get that information?
Dig through the trash.
Trash.
I guess he...
Or just...
Maybe, was he just that suave that he could talk to them
but
and
I
have
can't
that
remember
information?
how
What was
he
this
was
dude's
caught.
fucking day
But
job
what
that he had the time to go observe these women?
But with some of these women, he wouldn't just rape them, just once. he would like come back.
Yeah, he was trying to get her pregnant.
Yeah, that's fucking
Would
terrifying.
Would he like on his way? I'd be like, I'm coming back.
In that voice.
Maybe. But I think it was
How many
multiple
women?
women.
How
I
many
can't
women?
remember how many. Like fact check. I don't know. I'm not going to give the wrong answer, but I think it was quite a few. But you never hear. But you know, the cops tell you they won't come back. Usually,
But he
it's
said
very rare for
But
them
he had
to
a-
come
he had a-
back.
but he had a
and
different goal in
fucking
mind.
came back.
He had a different goal in
I
mind.
just feel like if he knew these women's ovulation schedules, that he would it would have to be more than just looking at their social media posts or digging
I
through
think
their
it
trash.
will no.
I feel like he would have had to have known them. He would have had to have
You know
like
what?
established
Now that
a
I'm
friendship
thinking
with
about
them.
it, I think it was some sort of
Did they ever get
like
together?
like a medical in the medical field, maybe.
A
Now that I'm thinking about
gynecologist.
it. Maybe or
Yeah.
shit. We need
Yeah.
to like look this
Who has
up. I feel
access?
I feel like if he could
To
get
that moon
that
blood.
much
like maybe
information
they
from a
came to the
woman,
doctor because that's how I think they tied it together was these same women
So it was a
went to the
gynecologist.
same doctor.
okay, well
I
that
think-
makes more
okay,
sense.
That's kind
I'm-
of a rookie mistake, though.
I
You gotta go.
don't
You
know
gotta
for
go to
sure.
like gynecologist conventions.
If
and swap
somebody
notes and
knows this
network.
story, please let us know the true facts
Yes,
on
let
the
us know.
page.
I was really hoping that he was just that suave and he got that much information, but for some reason he just couldn't seal the deal.
I would think digging through the trash alone though would let you know, like, oh, they're on their period. Let's
Right.
wait 2 weeks.
right?
I mean, that makes sense.
That's
I
a
guess.
weird goal.
I don't know how the periods work, so I don't know.
What was
You're-
his
you're
intention? He
ovulating
just wants
about
to make a bunch of
12,
babies
14
and then
days
what?
after.
Just make a bunch of babies and then what?
I don't know.
Like,
He
what was
just
his
wanted to
endgame?
spread his motherfucking seed. Have lots of babies.
He just wanted to.
That's
Oh!
dumb.
Oh,
That's dumb
since
as
we're
shit.
on this
Sorry,
subject, there was
legacy.
also a doctor that worked at a fertility clinic who people would come there to get sperm, pick out sperm so they could get pregnant.
And it was all his
And
sperm.
it was his. There was like, I think there was like so many, there are so many kids. They're like grown now.
That's so.
Oh, it was on Dr. Phil. They're like grown now, but they all realize that they're all like
Jokester.
half brothers and half sisters.
You nut.
Well, that was us getting spoopy.
Are we not going to talk about this more?
I think that we have spooked our last spoop.
That's pretty spooky.
When we
There's
get-
some
when
dude
we-
just-
I think once we get to Dr. Phil, we're all spooked out.
Oh, come on.
We're all spooked out.
I can
All
tell
right.
you a lot of spooky
Well,
shit from
listen,
Dr.
if
Phil.
you just want to come back and talk about Dr. Phil one day,
I mean,
we can talk
we
about
can
that.
totes do
I
that.
enjoy Dr. Phil so much. You gotta have a head that big when you got all them ideas.
Hunter watches Dr. Phil.
I like the shit out of Dr. Phil.
Maybe we should do like a episode breakdown of like Love After Lockup sometime.
Yes,
Fuck yeah.
please.
We should do that
If
one
you don't
time.
watch Love After Lockup, you
The fuck
fucking
are
up.
you even doing?
But that aside, happy Halloweens, happy early Thanksgivings.
Friendsgiving's coming up too.
Go
All that
vote.
food.
Go vote. Go vote because they're trying to pass legislation on your favorite topic. Even if you don't care about the president, go vote because they might be trying to get pot legal in your state.
Yep.
Or don't vote.
Or don't.
Or
Yeah, or
don't
stay
vote.
home and play video games. I don't know. Who cares? This shit's all
Go read a book.
This shit's all gay.